I remember the days when I would sit quietly, close my eyes, and pray for abundance. Not just money, but a full life, peace, happiness, opportunities, success, love, everything that feels like enough and more. I asked with sincerity. I believed. Or at least I thought I did. Every word I spoke in those prayers felt real in the moment. I would imagine doors opening, blessings flowing, life becoming easier and brighter. But when I opened my eyes and stepped back into reality, nothing seemed to change. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. And the abundance I prayed for felt distant, almost like it was meant for someone else. And that's when a quiet realization started to grow inside me. Maybe it wasn't that abundance wasn't coming. Maybe something within me was keeping it out. At first, I blamed everything outside. Timing, luck, people, circumstances. It's easy to think life is unfair when things don't go your way. But deep down, there was a voice I couldn't ignore. A voice that asked uncomfortable questions. If I truly believed abundance was coming, why did I worry so much? Why did I doubt every opportunity? Why did I overthink every step forward? Why did I feel like I wasn't enough to receive what I was asking for? That's when it hit me. My prayers were strong, but my doubt was stronger. Doubt is silent but powerful. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It says things like, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? And slowly, without realizing it, you start listening. You start believing those whispers more than your own prayers. You start preparing for failure instead of expecting success. And that energy, that mindset, creates a barrier. You're asking for abundance, but your actions and thoughts are rooted in fear. It's like trying to open a door while holding it shut at the same time. I began to notice how often I contradicted myself. I would pray for opportunities, but when one appeared, I hesitated. I would pray for success, but then I'd compare myself to others and feel small. I would pray for growth, but I stayed in my comfort zone. It was like I was sending mixed signals to life. On one hand, I was saying, give me more. On the other hand, I was saying, I'm not ready. And life responds to clarity, not confusion. There's something important about abundance that most people misunderstand. It's not just about receiving, it's about allowing. And allowing requires belief, not temporary belief during a prayer, but consistent belief in your daily thoughts, your decisions, your actions. You can't just ask for a better life. You have to align with it. And that's where doubt becomes dangerous. Because doubt disconnects you from that alignment. I realized that I was waiting for proof before believing. I told myself, once things start working out, then I'll fully believe. But that's backwards. Abundance doesn't come because you see it first. It comes because you believe in it before it arrives. That's the hardest part. Trusting something you can't yet see. And doubt thrives in that invisible space. It feeds on uncertainty. It grows stronger when you focus on what's missing instead of what's possible. So I started shifting, not overnight, not perfectly, but intentionally. Every time doubt showed up, I didn't ignore it. I challenged it. I asked myself, is this thought helping me or holding me back? And most of the time, it was holding me back. I began replacing those thoughts with something stronger. Not unrealistic positivity, but grounded belief. I reminded myself that growth takes time. That setbacks are not signs of failure. That I am capable, even when I don't feel like it. I also realized that abundance isn't always loud. It doesn't always arrive in big, dramatic moments. Sometimes it shows up quietly, in small opportunities, in lessons, in progress you almost overlook. But when you're focused on doubt, you miss those signs. You overlook the very things you once prayed for just because they didn't come in the way you expected. And that's another way doubt blocks abundance. It blinds you to what's already there. There was a moment when everything changed for me. Not because something huge happened, but because I changed how I saw things. I stopped asking, why isn't this working? And started asking, what can I do with what I have right now? That shift gave me control again. It moved me out of waiting mode and into action mode. And action is powerful. It breaks the cycle of overthinking. It weakens doubt. It builds confidence. I won't say doubt disappeared completely. It still shows up sometimes. But now, it doesn't control me. I recognize it for what it is, a habit, not a truth. And the more I act despite doubt, the weaker it becomes. The more I trust myself, the more open I feel to receiving. And slowly, abundance started to feel closer. Not just as an idea, but as something real, something possible. What I learned is simple, but deep. You don't block abundance by not having enough. You block it by believing you're not enough. And once that belief changes, everything else starts to shift. You become more open, more confident, more willing to take chances. You stop shrinking yourself. You stop waiting for permission. And that's when life starts responding differently. If you're in a place where you're praying for more, but not seeing results, take a moment and look within. Not to blame yourself, but to understand yourself. Ask yourself honestly, do you truly believe you deserve what you're asking for? Do your thoughts support your prayers, or do they contradict them? Because the truth is, you can't receive with a closed mindset. And doubt is one of the strongest ways we close ourselves off. Abundance is not just something you chase, it's something you allow. And allowing starts with trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your journey. That what you're working toward is possible. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to feel confident all the time. But you do need to keep moving, even when doubt tries to stop you. So if you've been praying for abundance, don't stop. But also, don't ignore what's happening inside you. Pay attention to your thoughts. Notice where doubt is creeping in. And slowly, start replacing it with belief. Not perfect belief, but enough belief to keep going. Enough belief to take the next step. Because the truth is, abundance might already be trying to reach you. Opportunities might already be around you. Growth might already be happening. But if doubt is louder than your belief, you won't see it. You won't feel it. You won't allow it. And once you realize that everything changes, you stop chasing and you start becoming. You stop waiting and you start creating. You stop doubting and you start trusting. And that's when abundance finally finds its way in.